Junie B., first grader, Toothless Wonder. Chapter 1, Prizes. Friday. Dear first grade journal, today we are having a speaker in room 1. She is going to tell us all about recycling. Recycling is when you wash your trash, I believe. Mr. Scary said to write in our journals till the speaker gets here. Only I don't even feel like writing today because I have a loose tooth, that's why. And that thing is driving me crazy. Also, every time I have to write in this journal, I have to look up words in the dumb dictionary. Except sometimes Mr. Scary spells the word on the board for us. And then I have to cross out my mistakes. Plus also, I erase holes in my paper. Spelling is not a breeze, I tell you. That is all I feel like writing. I am done with this thing, and I mean it. From Junie B., first grader. I put down my pencil, and I opened my mouth. Then I reached in my finger, and I wiggled my tooth. That thing has been loose for a very long time. Only no matter how hard I wiggle it, it still won't come out. I pulled on it a teensy bit. Ow! That hurt! You dumb bunny tooth, I said. May turned her head and looked at me. May sits next to me in room 1. She is not a pleasure. You shouldn't say dumb bunny, Junie Jones, she said. Dumb bunny is not a nice word. I raised my eyebrows at her. Oh, really? I said. Well, thank you for telling me that, dumb bunny May. Just then, May's face got puffy and red. Don't say that word, I told you, she hollered. My teacher stood up at his desk. Problem back there, girls, he said. Yes, Mr. Scary, said May. There's always a problem back here, and her name is Junie Jones. I stamped my foot. B, May. B, 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 B. You're always forgetting my B. Mr. Scary closed his eyes. Please, girls, can't we just have one morning without any spats? I looked surprised at that man. But I didn't even spat, Mr. Scary, I said. My mother doesn't let me spat, not even on the sidewalk. After that, I went up to his desk and I smiled very cute. I have a loose tooth, I said. Would you like to see it, Mr. Scary, huh? Would you? I opened my mouth and wiggled it for him. See it? See how loose it is? It's a loosey-goosey, isn't it? He smiled. Wow, it really is loose, Junie B., he said. And it's a top tooth, too. Losing a top tooth is the best. I looked puzzled. It is? How come it's the best, Mr. Scary? I asked. Is a top tooth funner than a bottom tooth, do you mean? Because last year I lost a bottom tooth, and I didn't actually get a kick out of it. My teacher did a chuckle. Ah, but when you lose a top tooth, he said, your smile looks really cute, Junie B. And when your new tooth comes in, you'll start looking like a big kid. I did a gasp at that news. A big kid, I said. Really? I'm going to look like a big kid? Mr. Scary nodded. Sure you are, he said. Here, I'll show you what I mean. He looked around the room. Class, does anyone in here have their big top teeth yet? If so, please raise your hand, he said. All of a sudden, children looked and looked at each other, but no one raised their hand. Mr. Scary was surprised. Really, he said? No kidding. No one in our class has lost a top front tooth, huh? He turned around and shook my hand. Well, congratulations, Junie B. Jones, he said. It looks like you're going to be the first person in room 1 with a big top tooth. I felt very thrilled. Thank you, I said. Then I skipped back to my seat and I sat down real proud. May did a huffy breath at me. Big deal. What's so special about losing a top tooth, she said. Everyone in our whole room is going to lose their top teeth, Junie Jones. It's not like you're the only one, you know. I did a huffy breath right back at her. Yes, May, I know I'm not the only one, I said, but I am the first one. And the first one is the winner. So there, ha ha, on you. May crossed her arms. Well, if you're the winner then, where's your prize, huh, Junie Jones? I don't see a prize, do you? I tapped my fingers, kind of stumped. Then I hurried back to my teacher's desk again, and I patted him on the shoulder. Okay, here's the thing, I said. The children are wondering, where's my prize for being the tooth winner? And so, how would you like to handle this situation? Mr. Scary did not answer right away. Finally, he shrugged. Well, the truth is, there aren't any prizes, he said. I wasn't actually running a contest, you know. Yes, I know, I said, but I bet you could come up with a little something to make me happy. I pointed at his desk drawer. I bet there's something in there, probably, I said. Teachers always have good stuff in their drawers, right? And so why don't we take a little look-see? Mr. Scary ran his fingers through his hair. Then at last, he opened his drawer. Whoa! Is that a stapler I see there? A stapler would be good, don't you think? I could really pound that thing, I bet. And so, if you'll just hand it over, I'll be on my way. Mr. Scary shook his head. No, Junie B., he said. No stapler. I looked some more. Hey, hold the phone, I said. Is that Tums I'm looking at? I leaned closer. Yes, it is Tums, Mr. Scary. You've got Tums just like my Grandpa Miller. And so I bet you suffer from gas and bloating. Am I correct? Mr. Scary quick closed the drawer. Then he went to the supply closet and he got out a piece of shiny silver paper and he scribbled a star. He cut it out and pinned it on my shirt. There, he said, that's your prize for your tooth, okay? You get to wear a shiny star for being the winner. Now please go back to your seat. I looked down at my star. Yeah, only I don't actually think this is your best work, I said kind of quiet. Mr. Scary pointed it to my desk. He was not having a good morning, I think. I went back and sat down. May sneaked a peek at my star. I tried to act proud of it. Well, what do you know? A prize, I said. May did a mad breath and quick turned away. I looked at my star again. This time, it looked prettier, I think. Chapter 2, Uncle Lou. The speaker came at 10 o'clock. Her name was Miss Chris. Miss Chris told us all about recycling. Also, she showed us a movie. It was called Dan the Soda Can. It was very thrilling, I tell you, because Dan the Soda Can lived in a soda machine at a gas station. And then one day, a lady bought him to drink. Only too bad for Dan, because after the lady drank his soda, she threw him right out her car window. And Dan got his can all dented. But hooray! A cop lady saw the littering, and he gave her a big fat ticket. Then, a can man took Dan to the recycling center. And the man got cash money. Plus Dan got fixed up as good as new. And bingo! He turned Dan into an orange juice can. It was a miracle, I tell you. Room 1 clapped and clapped at the happy ending. Then Miss Chris passed out stickers of Dan the Soda Can for us to stick on our shirts. And the sticker said, recycling makes sense. Ha! Get it? Sense sounds like sense. And that is a good one, I think. After that, all of us went to lunch and recess. And we were still in happy moods. On the playground, Lenny and Jose and Shirley asked to see my loose tooth. Then, pretty soon, the other children wanted to see it too. And so finally, I stood them all in a row and I let them look real close. After they looked, I walked down the row and I showed them how far I could bend it. Herb clapped and clapped. Jose and Lenny whistled. Sheldon tried to pick me up. That is not a normal reaction, I think. You're going to look cool when it finally comes out, Junie B., said Herb. See, said Jose, you're going to look really cool. Like a hockey player, I bet. Yeah, said Lenny. Hockey players almost never have any teeth. Neither do kickboxers, says Shirley. Maybe you'll look like a kickboxer, Junie B. Just then, Sheldon did a sigh. I just hope you don't look like my toothless Uncle Lou, he said. My toothless Uncle Lou never brushed or flossed, and then all his teeth fell out. I made a sick face. Sheldon shrugged. Well, it's not like he's totally toothless, he said. He still has one bottom tooth left. It's kind of yellow, but it can still bite an apple. After that, Sheldon walked away. I watched him go. Then I sat down in the grass and I tried not to think of toothless Uncle Lou. After school, me and Herb rode the bus home together. We sit with each other every single day, except not on Saturdays or Sundays or weekends. Me and Herb talk about lots of stuff on the bus. Only today, I didn't feel like talking hardly, because I was still upset about looking like Uncle You-Know-Who. I slumped down in my seat very glum. What if I look like a weirdo, I said. Huh, Herb? What if I look like toothless Uncle Lou? Herb patted me. Don't worry, you won't. Probably. But I kept on worrying. Yeah, only today is Friday, Herb, I said. And so by Monday, my tooth will already be out. And so, what if I come to school looking like toothless Uncle Lou? And then all of room 1 starts making fun of me. And they form a circle around me and they laugh and skip and throw fruit. Then all of a sudden, I did a gasp. Because an even worser problem popped in my head. I grabbed Herb's shirt. Oh no, Herb, oh no, I said. What if I don't even look like myself on Monday? Not even a tiny bit, I mean. And then I get on this bus and you don't even recognize me. And so you pass right by my seat. And then I have to sit by myself, all alone and toothless. Herb looked down at his shirt. He said to please take my hands off of him. He smoothed himself out. Maybe you should look on the bright side, Junie B, he said. Even if all of that bad stuff happens, which it won't, probably, you'll still end up with a bunch of money from the tooth fairy, right? Isn't that good? And as soon as he said that, chill bumps came on my skin, and my stomach got flutterflies in it. I quick looked out the window so Herb couldn't see my face. Because guess what? The tooth fairy is a whole other can of worms. Chapter 3 is called Ow. But you have to wait till tomorrow to find out what happened.